Just to be completely honest with you guys, I really had almost no plans on making this video because frankly, I'm personally tired of major publications and big outlets using certain tactics for the big clicks when it comes to Stadia. They might throw a compliment here and there to act as if they aren't somehow biased, or if you're a certain YouTubers, you'll completely trash the whole platform for those clicks and subs. At the end of the day, I personally know what I enjoy. I'm pretty secure with myself and my gaming choices. But with that said, I'm going to give the honest truth about why such tests like Digital Foundry lacks too much context to be taken serious, and why at times things like these need to be called out. So let's get into this video. Before we start, please smash the like button to help videos like these have more exposure, and sub to the channel for more Stadia and cloud gaming coverage, as well as hitting that notification bell. But if you're unaware of what I'm even talking about, Digital Foundry released a video recently breaking down the differences between Xbox One X version of Doom Eternal and Stadia's version at 4K resolution. They went through the performance side of it graphically and did an FPS test, which frankly I had no complaints about, even if some of his statements came off as irresponsible without full context like this one.
Okay, you'll bump into some hitches and drops purely based on the quality of your online connection. It's to be expected really. In my case, I got lucky and played for 2 to 3 straight hours without any major problems. Save for 1 or 2 big stutters, it's been pretty excellent.
He says you'll experience some hitches and drops purely based on your online connection, and that he only had 1 or 2 big stutters. Little statements like this might not seem like a big deal to some of you, and you may have even overlooked it. But to me, as a guy who had to be convinced a year ago to even look in the direction of cloud gaming, and for people who don't know anything about cloud gaming, which would be the majority of people watching a video like this Digital Foundry piece, my mind immediately goes to, I don't want to play on a cloud platform that might give me 1 or 2 hitches of any kind at any point. Why would I play a game over the cloud if I ever have issues, period? To me, little statements like these are completely irresponsible, even if he tried to dress it up by saying he played a few straight hours without issues. The fact of the matter is, when you play on a cloud service, it depends on so many factors on what your experience will be. You might have issues like he states, and I don't deny that, but let me tell you a different side. For me personally, I rarely have issues, period. We're talking hundreds upon hundreds of hours, including live streams, where I stress my connection as far as I can. The truth is, you might have an experience like mine, where it's almost truly flawless, and it has been for a long time. But the real problem with this video came when this individual essentially is stating in a roundabout way that Doom Eternal is not only unenjoyable on Stadia, but that it's almost unplayable due to the input latency. Now, once again, I have to state we lack yet again some context with this video. While he explained his entire setup, on the surface it seems completely ideal from his point of view. But there is some information lacking. For one of the biggest pieces of information in this article that was written from the guy who made the video, where it's almost word for word from the article to the video, except for the biggest paragraph missing from the video in his own article, in which he states, with the current COVID-19 lockdown situation and the increased stress on the internet infrastructure in general, are we looking at a genuine problem with the game itself, or simply the notion of Stadia itself underperforming in extraordinary circumstances? We went back to Mortal Kombat 11, a game we tested for latency at launch, and found that we were looking at some increased latency. It seemed to vary between 14 ms and 26 milliseconds more lag. So right there he mentioned something that when I first saw the video without reading this article, I immediately thought, wait a second. Right now, there is a ton of people stuck at home using their internet. There is no way this is a true ideal setup to test the true latency in a game like Doom Eternal at 4K, when everything that is happening is slowing down connections right now. So in their own test, they realized that right now everything is slightly slower, but nowhere was this mentioned in that video, essentially continuing to paint a certain narrative when it comes to Stadia. It's a very popular narrative, I might add, that gets you clicks and subs, and well, all that equals money. Not only that, but what if we had a guy named Joe who had the exact same setup as this guy, but he actually lived near a data center hosting these Stadia servers? How would this latency appear? Essentially, there is a million factors that go into breaking down something like this, but this is where my problem is. The outlet making a video like this, saying Doom Eternal is just not fun on Stadia, is supposed to be a reputable outlet. But there is so many factors that were not tested. Can we test connections in other parts of his country or other countries? Can we test different networks with different devices? Can we get a true outlook of what this looks like before we put out videos like this? Of course not, because making a video like that is a lot of work, and then making a video like this is extremely easy. And who's going to question this when it's such a popular narrative that Stadia sucks? The last thing I want to do in this video is take a look at someone in our community and Stadia community by the name of Random Noob on YouTube and Tech on Discord, who did his own latency test, and we got some interesting conclusions to look at. Also to note, credit for this goes to him, so please check out his YouTube channel and his video with the links below. But he performed his own Doom Eternal latency test using a microcontroller that is as accurate as you can get using a keyboard and mouse simulation, which is even less ideal than the Chromecast Ultra with a controller hardwired. Now, to put this video in context, he did this at 1080p, not 4K, and got 3 different results with 141 ms on the first, the second 155, and the third he got as low as 130 milliseconds. Digital Foundry claimed they were getting as much as 79 to 100 ms extra, so equaling close to about 200 ms at 4K resolution, with the Xbox One X coming in at 95. So essentially, the claim is that Doom Eternal at 4K on Stadia is getting up to an extra 95 milliseconds on average, according to the article. When Random Noob did test 4K, he got around 170 milliseconds, so not too far from the numbers at Digital Foundry, but still below that 95 to 100 extra they were actually claiming. So once again, I need to point out the context of the entirety of the message of this video. Did they even bother testing at lower resolutions? Did we forget that the majority of people don't even play at 4K still to this day? 1080p response is literally half the response time and latency. And going further, if you played at an even lower resolution, it gets close to matching local hardware at 112. So when this video came out, I was like, what the heck is he talking about? The game is hella responsive, and I've never come close to having issues or feeling any input latency. And this is me playing with a keyboard and mouse, not the Chromecast Ultra with a controller hardwired, which is even more ideal. But alright, I get it. I'm not here to tell you, the person watching this video right now, that you aren't dealing with the same type of latency he is, because I'm sure some of you are. Maybe even experiencing it worse, especially in times like these. I'm not here to deny that playing on a cloud platform, you will receive more latency than playing on local hardware. And lastly, I'm not here to dispel his results or tell him he's wrong for not having as much fun as he did on the Xbox. What I'm here to tell you is that there's another side to this story. And when you title a video, but the lag is just too high, that's when you lose me. Because at that point, you lose the integrity of the message you're trying to get out. If the average Joe played with the exact same setup, with the latency he has, they won't even tell the difference. But when you make a video like this to people who I'm pretty sure have no clue how much 200 milliseconds worth of latency is, they'll think it's an eternity. And when the truth is, they wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. And well, it just continues to fit a nice clickbait narrative that Stadia is just this unplayable cloud platform, when the fact is that just isn't true. But alright guys, let me know down in the comments your thoughts. Are you enjoying this platform? Or is this lag just too high for you to enjoy Stadia? Please let me know down below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please smash the like button as I'd really appreciate it. Sub to the channel for more cloud gaming coverage and Stadia coverage, as well as hit that notification bell. Please follow me on social medias, including Twitch, as I will be streaming Stadia in the future over there. Like always, fellow gamers and cloud gamers, I'll see you guys in the cloud.